So, number one. Make it a full bit. Okay. So number one, we're going to graph these two lines and see where they intersect. Now, because we are just graphing the line, graphing the inequalities, it is going to be easier if you use the slope to graph every possible point. And what I mean by that is for this first equation, we're going to start here. This is your P. This is where you start on Y. We're going to start at positive 7. And since my slope is 2/3, I'm going to go up to right 3. Up to right 3, right here. Right. Now, it doesn't give us a lot of points, so I'm also going to do the opposite of this, which is down to back 3. You can see we're still making that nice solid line here. So keep going down to back 3. We have our line. Makes it really easy to see every possible point. One of these points is going to be your answer. That what makes it nice. One of these points will be your answer. Yep. So, for the next line, we're going to start here again. This is B, so this is where we start on Y. Here we're at positive 3. And my slope is 2, so I put it over 1, up to right 1. Well, up to right 1, and should keep going. Up to right 1, up to right here, where they cross, is my answer. I don't need any more points. My answer is 3, 9. Number 2, we're going to have to solve for y on both these. I don't have a lot of room, so I'm going to solve for y. The first number here, so 7x plus 5y equals 20. Get y by itself. First thing you do is move x over. 5y equals negative 7x plus 20. And then divide by the coefficient of y. Y equals negative 7 over 5x plus 4. So we'll go ahead and graph this. Again, this is B, so this is where we start on Y. We start at positive 4. And this is your slope. Negative 7 over 5 means down, because it's negative, down 7. Right 5. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have a lot of points here, so we'll just go the best we can with that. All right, so I'm going to solve the other one. 7x plus 5 is equal to negative 20. So 5y. So subtract 7x. 5y equals negative 7x minus 20. And we divide by 5. We get y is equal to negative 7 over 5. X minus 4.
Sorry.
Oh, was that one?
No.
Don't worry, I missed your coordinates.
Okay, fine.
So, this is your B. This is where we start on Y. So we start at negative 4. And this is your slope. Negative 7 over 5 means you're going to go down 7, right 5. Now, notice my slope exactly the same. And when my slope is exactly the same, now, by the way, down 7, right 5, move it off the graph. Okay. If you want to go up 7, back 5, you can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back 5, you can do that. But if you notice that your slopes are the same, what kind of lines are you going to have? Parallel lines, which means no solution. They don't intersect. By the way, key hint here is if you notice that your if you have it both in standard form and you notice your x and y are both the same numbers, it's going to be parallel. Okay. But you still have to graph it because the graph is part of the answer. So I will need the graph. You can get partial credit for knowing it's going to be no solution. So, okay. But they do need the graph. Questions on 1 and 2? Number 3, 4, and 5, we're going to use substitution. Now, number 3 and 4, they're kind of made for substitution, where you already have a variable by itself. So we're going to take what the variable equals, we're going to take what y equals for number 3, and plug it in to y and the other equation. We'll zoom in here so you can see that. We'll look together. So, instead of 6x plus 7y, I'm going to replace y with x minus 9 equals 2. So I take that second equation and replace y with x minus 9. Now all we have is x. We just solve for x. This is reminiscent to the very first unit we did. So distribute 6x plus 7x minus 63 equals 2. Don't forget to multiply both by 7, not just the x. Combine your like terms here. 13x minus 63 equals 2. Add 63 over. 13x equals 65. Divide by 13. X equals 5. Now, we are going to plug this in. And we always, for substitution, plug into the equation we used for substitution. So y equals 5 minus 9. Here I plug x in. X was 5. Y equals negative 4. Don't forget, final answer is written as xy, so 5, negative 4. Did I ever tell my 5? Well, let me do sharp corners one thing.
It's not all good. Alright. Yeah. It's not. Again? It's good.
So, number 4. Now, 4, both of these are equal to y. Both of these are equal to y. So we're going to set these equal to each other. So that means 4x minus 3 is equal to negative 2x minus 9. So here we are going to add 2x over plus 2x. 6x minus 3 is equal to negative 9. And 3. 6x equals negative 6. Divided by 6. X equals negative 1. Again, we're going to plug this in. But this time we have 2 equations we could choose. It doesn't make a difference. Plug in either one. So let's say we plug it into the top one, right here. So y is equal to 4 times negative 1 minus 3. Y equals negative 4 minus 3. Y equals negative 7. And don't forget, my final answer is x, then y. So what we'll do on the stage. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you, this says solve by substitution. It says solve by substitution, but would I care if you solve by elimination? I would not. So you solve this one whichever way you want. Now, I'm going to solve this by substitution, because I can. But if you want to solve by elimination, let's say you multiply that bottom row by 2 to cancel out your y's, go ahead and do that. Okay? I'll be perfectly fine with it because you will get the same answer and you will also show your work. Okay? What I won't like is you just put down an answer without showing any work. That's what I want. Okay? So I'm going to solve for x by getting rid of y. Because the reason why I want to solve for x is because there's no coefficient with x. So subtract 2y minus 2y, we get x equals negative 2y plus 12. So we're going to take this and replace this x here. So 4, but instead of x, I have negative 2y plus 12 minus 4y equals negative 12. Again, we put this value, plug it in for that x. Instead of x, we write negative 2y plus 12. Distribute. Make sure you strip through both. So we have negative 8y plus 48 equals, sorry, not equals, minus 4y equals negative 12. Combine the like terms, negative 12y plus 48 equals negative 12. Very good. Negative 48, subtract 48. We get negative 12y equals negative 60. And divide by negative 12, y equals 5. So again, when we plug this in, we're going to plug in. We always plug it into what we use for substitutions. So x equals negative 2 times 5 instead of negative 2y. Negative 2 times 5 plus 12. Negative 10 plus 12, that is 2. So my final answer is 2, 5. That is it, the first page. Good question.
Should have been,
Yeah, should have, but I didn't. Trying to save paper.
it's like all.
Really, it wasn't even about the paper. It was just saving my time waiting for the printer. Really it. Much faster than just one double-sided sheet than something being saved. All right, next page. Elimination method. You will have one question in which you can automatically cancel out a variable. So you can automatically add these together. Y is gone. 12x equals 12. Divide by 12. X equals 12. From here, plug in. But again, you just pick which one you want to do. It doesn't matter which one you want to do. You want to plug in X at top or bottom, it makes no difference. Okay? Let's say we plug it in on the top, but again, it makes no difference. 8 times 1 minus 2y equals 2. So since times 1, it's just 8 minus 2y equals 2. Subtract 8. Negative 2y equals negative 6. Divide by negative 2. Y equals 3. So again, my final answer has to be the xy, 1, 3.
Add up, sure.
So you will have one question which you can automatically cancel out of variable. Honestly, odd how much your tests are like your homework. It's almost like we planned it that way. So you will have one question which you do have the same number, but you don't have the opposite sign. So I get the opposite sign by multiplying one of these by negative 1. Doesn't matter which one, top or bottom, you can make a difference. Just pick one and multiply. That gets you 10x plus 10y equals 0, and we didn't leave anything to the bottom. Negative 8x minus 10y equals 2. So now when we add, the y's are going to So again, if we have the same number, just multiply one row by -1. Now we can cancel 8 plus a negative, sorry, 10 plus a -8 is 2x. 0 plus 2 is 2. Using x is 1. Again, we plug in. Doesn't matter which one we plug it into. Let's say we plug it in down here. -8 times 1 minus 10y equals 2. -8 minus 10y equals 2. Add 8 to cancel that out. -10y equals 10. And divide by -10. Y is -1. 1, -1 is my answer. Any questions on 6 and 7?
No.
Are we good? Oh, yeah. You have a question that doesn't even have the same number. So we have to multiply one or both equations to make them have the same number. If I want to get rid of x, what would I do? If I want to get rid of x, what would I do? I multiply that bottom row by 7 to make that a -7x.
I just got the children with them.
If I want to get rid of y, how can I make -6 into +12? What times -6 gives you +12? Negative, so I can multiply the top row by -2. Doesn't matter which variable we get rid of first.
Yeah.
So you want to multiply the top row by -2 or the bottom row by 7? Which one? So let's say we multiply this top row by -2. -14x, +12y, +40. Didn't do anything to the second row, so -1x, -12y, and -10. Now when we add that cake, and don't forget to multiply everything. A lot of people forget to multiply the last number. Multiply the first one, or multiply the first two. Don't forget, everything is multiplied. Whole row. We get -15x equals 30. Divided by -15, we get x equals -2. Again, we plug in. Let's say that bottom row, -2 minus 12y equals -10. 2 minus 12y equals -10. 2 negative, make positive. Subtract 2 on both sides, we get -12y equals -12, which means y has to be 1. So, -2, 1, final answer.
I just used the other equation and I it. I don't know what that's.
What about -2 at the top?
Oh, cool. Stupid people.
Now, we're going to graph these just like we did, but you need to remember, if you don't remember this, you need to write down these notes. Greater than, less than, dash. Honestly, it might be even easier if you write it like this. If y is greater than, this is dash, and you shade up. Y is less than, this is dash, and you shade down. Y is greater than or equal to, it is solid. You shade up. Y is less than or equal to, it is solid. You shade down. Now you just have everything. I have to look at multiple stuff. You just say, depending on what side I have, I know if it's solid dash, shade up or shade down. So this first one here is going to be solid and shade up. This is dash and you shade up. Solid and shade up, and dash and shade up. Now for this first line, we forget about the sign and everything. We just have that b is 2 and slope is -3/4. This is where we start on y at 2. And we're going to go down 3, right 4. 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can keep going. We don't have to. Okay. 4 points does make it easier to plot, but okay, it's solid, and we are shading up. Blue line, we have b is -7. So we start on y at -7. And slope is -3/1. So down 3, right 1. We go backwards up 3, back 1. Don't forget, this is dashed. Shading up. Right here. That shading overlaps. Number 2. This is dashed. Shade up. The second one is dashed. Shade down.
Negative 3/1.
Yep, if there's no fraction, you make it a fraction by putting it over one. So number 10, my first line, this b is -5. That's b, -5. My slope isn't there, and understood 1. Now, since it's not a fraction, we're going to put it over 1. We're going to start on y at -5. And we're going to go up 1, right 1. And you can keep going as often as you want. This is dashed. Shading up. And when we have y is less than -4, x plus 5. My b is 5. Slope is -4, so we're going to put it over 1. Means you're going to go down 4, right 1. Starting at positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 4, right 1. Down 4, right 1. Again, we don't need any points. It is dashed. We're shading down. Here. Random sense. All right. That is your test. We'll have a practice run tomorrow. We'll go over it on Monday. Final test on Tuesday. No more homework, really. I'm going to take your test. Again, if you do well tomorrow, you don't have to worry about next week. You got to class, but you just see.
Everybody.